Okay, guys, DojoCraft here with Minor Icons HD. Say hi, Minor.
Sup, guys?
Okay, you might have saw Minor Icons video on PS4 versus Xbox versus PC, and we're about to get a bit more in depth with that. So, yeah, so Minor, what's your basically I guess system of choice?
Alright, so I'm gonna go with the PC because they're pretty much tanks, and they'll probably beat any console when it comes to the graphics competition and performance.
Now, I think PC is good as well, but I really don't feel like the community is as strong. What do you think?
Um, what I think a lot of people, what they don't understand that there's a lot of benefits from actually switching to PC. So one thing is like some games will eventually come out cheaper if you just wait a little bit longer. And there's a lot of free games or a lot of free to plays on the PC rather than the consoles, which don't have a lot of free to plays, but I think they have quite a few and a good selection on the PlayStation Network.
And a lot of people, like you were saying in your video, they think the price is expensive when they think PC.
Yeah, a lot of people they're probably thinking thousands and thousands of dollars when it comes to PC, but you can build your own for a pretty cheap price, and you can already get one built with a nice cooling system and a pretty good graphics card for probably around $700 to $800, which is less than 1,000. And some, if you can find a really good deal, you can probably get one for around 500 or maybe 600.
And that's basically if you're buying one, but I know for sure you can build one for like maybe $200 cheaper than that, like 300, 400.
Yeah.
But consoles, another thing is they're a lot simpler to use cuz PC there's like Steam and stuff, and a lot of that stuff can be a bit complicating.
Yeah, that is true. And a lot of people, when they game, they're looking for something simple to get on, turn off, and get back on the next day, rather than a PC, which is kind of something and could be harder to maintain. And a lot of people, once they get a console, they're so used to using that, they're so used to the performance, and not thinking about upgrading possibly. And when choosing a console, most likely you're not going to be updating or upgrading the specs, because you're gonna be stuck with that console for a couple of years. Because once you like buy an Xbox, you're not gonna be able to get like better specs the next day. You're gonna have to wait probably a couple of years. Rather than a PC, you can probably just upgrade the specs within like the next week or so, just by buying better parts for that PC.
Yeah, and the PC, there's so much freedom. You can do modding, and then like Minecraft, you can do texture packs, all that good stuff.
Yeah, there is so much game variety, and there's so much more expansion to gaming on a PC. Consoles, they like gaming consoles are made for gaming, but there's so much more you can expand to when buying a PC.
Yeah, but a lot of the game developers, they no longer want to develop for PC. Like we see this with GTA 5 because GTA 4 was actually the most cracked game.
We're seeing a lot of leaked, like you'll see a lot of leaked games that you have to buy, and people will just leak them out, and then people can get the game for free. Then there's a lot of modding, there's a lot of hacking. Like for example, when you play a Modern Warfare game on Steam or playing on PC, there's gonna be so many mods going around rather than the Treyarch games, which doesn't have too much modding. I think on the PC, so there is gonna be a little bit more breaking of the rules on PC, but you will get your bang for the buck, which I do like a lot about the PC gaming side.
Yeah, then there's of course the Wii U, but I haven't seen many videos on it, and developers can make stuff for the Wii U, but I don't see why they don't wanna, cause it has the right hardware now.
What I like about the Wii U is that they did focus on their specs. Um, what I think is going to happen with the Wii U, no matter how much Nintendo tries with this Wii system, I don't think they'll be able to get their fans back. When the Wii system first launched, a lot of people were playing it, a lot of people were getting their hands on it, the fun games being interactive, but slowly it died out, and kind of for a very brief moment, the Xbox and the PlayStation and the Wii were all kind of grouped in the same category, and pretty much a lot of people had them in their households. But then slowly back over a lot of time, a couple of the years, you you notice that slowly the Xbox and the PS3 were taken over once again, kind of how they started out.
Then there was that Ouya system. Before it came out, everyone thought it was going to be the big thing, you know, a cheap system and all that stuff. But really, it kind of is one of the lowest systems out there.
Yeah. What I would like to see is possibly a GameCube come back with improved graphics and some better performance, because I think it was a pretty good console. Maybe they can make some minor adjustments to the controller. It wasn't too bad of a console to begin with, but I don't think we'll ever see the GameCube come back. But um, that's what I have to say about the GameCube, because a lot of people forgot about it. A lot of these older consoles, such as like the first Xbox and the first PlayStation, we've seen upgrades, and somehow I think it's just when it comes down to gamers, some of the gamers don't like to be interactive, and some people don't like to wear headsets where the Kinect comes in. But when it comes to like other consoles like that are old, the systems run slower, they're not as up to date. So the Xbox One and then the PS4, they have upgraded specs, but then like the Wii U, once they lost their audience, it was kind of over for them. But they probably do have one thing that I noticed a lot on the Wii, their age group difference is so it's varying a lot. So you see a lot of younger, and then it will jump to older groups. Rather than like the Xbox and the PlayStation, you see a lot of people kind of in this age group between like possibly like 8 and around 18ish to 20. Sometimes you run into an older group, but it's not as the community is more a lot of younger people.
Yeah, like you see mobile games even that are much more intense and gruesome than even Wii U games, you know?
Yeah, I think the Wii U is more of a relaxed, chill, but when it comes to the other gaming consoles, it's more like hop on the game, play, talk to your friends. But then you don't see a lot of communication or a lot of interaction with the community on Wii. It's kind of like no one really uses internet with it. It's kind of just like play, watch Netflix on it. But you don't really see people talking to each other, playing competitive or like GBs on Wii. You mostly see that on the PS3 and Xbox side.
Yeah, so the other consoles, the Xbox and PlayStation, they're like a lot more advanced. The Wii U, everyone said it's the next gen. I really don't think it's the next gen. It like hardly compares to the PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with like when it comes down to the Xbox One and the PS4. You're gonna see slightly better specs from the PlayStation, but I know what happened was a lot of people on the initial reveal, Xbox screwed up, and I know a lot of people once they watched the first video, they didn't watch any more after that. So they're kind of left and they're just going off that first impression. But then after that, there were some changes before it, and a lot of people don't know about that. But with the PS4, since they came out, like their initial impression was like really great. A lot of people were going with that, but a lot of gamers are hardcore gamers, and a lot of people that follow the scene closely, they know that they made changes and the competition is closer and closer. And when the consoles actually come out and they're able to be purchased, we're going to see how they really stack up against each other.
Yeah, I'm basically gonna be sticking with PlayStation just because, you know, once you're with a certain system, you want to stay with it. But I'm definitely liking PC, so I may be getting one. But, you know, you just want to stick where your friends are.
Yeah, that is true. Um, like for example, if you ever get like possibly a
Okay, guys, sorry about the delay. My video ended, so I couldn't add any more commentary. But anyway, so you were talking about, I think.
Yeah, so pretty much what I was talking about when you fresh start, when you have a fresh start like on a new console or whatever, you pretty much have no friends. Not in a bad way. So if you're starting on PC, you're pretty much gonna make friends quickly. It shouldn't be too difficult. Like on Xbox, you meet cool people in the lobbies. You usually add them, and then you guys become like Xbox or online buddies. So that's gonna work the same for Steam, but you might not have as many friends, but you should run into people that have similar likings as you.
Yeah, I mean, you'll find some friends on there. you know, you're never gonna be without friends on a certain system.
Unless you're a weirdo.
Yeah, like our best friend David. So let's talk about games now. What are your, I guess, top 3 games on all systems together? Hello?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Uh. Um. Hello.
Hello?
Uh, um.
What are your top 3 games?
My top 3 games. My top 3 games for all consoles. My top 3 games will have to be Modern Warfare 2, Minecraft, and Battlefield 3.
My favorite games are Skyrim, Minecraft, and Call of Duty. Ugh. So yeah.
Oh my god, this kid is so bad.
Okay. Let's get back to the commentary. So tell me, what do you think about digital games besides like disc games?
Digital games like as in downloading games?
Yeah.
Like GTA?
Yeah, like what do you think? Do you think disc games are better or digital games?
What do you think?
Uh, I'm having a struggle between it because there's the good feeling of buying a disc game, but
It
then
doesn't really phase me that much.
again, like a digital game, you don't even have to switch your disc. You just pick up your controller and switch to that game.
That is true. So I'm gonna have to go with I have to go with this because like there's always that you just feel a little bit more support, I guess.
Yeah. So one thing do want to mention is, what do you think about the motion gaming feature on the consoles?
What is that?
Like, you know, Kinect and PlayStation
Oh,
Eye.
I don't care too much for them. I'm more of a fan of the voice commands, so they're not really a use. They don't really bother me, so I'm not affected by them. I don't use them, so I'm gonna have to go with I mean, for people that like to use them, that's cool, but I know a lot of people that don't use them, so for me, it doesn't really bother me or affect me playing the games that I like to enjoy, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those features like 3D motion that people think are going to be fun, but later on they just don't get as big, you know?
Yeah, kind of like the Wii.
Yeah, so we're getting short on time, but yeah, this is Minor Icons HD as the guesty person, my special guest, and I'm Dojo Craft.